The Forbidden Bond. The throne room of the Zyraxian Empire was massive. Giant crystal pillars reached up to the ceiling. Purple lights glowed everywhere. It was the most beautiful and terrifying place in the entire galaxy. Queen Vexara sat on her throne. Her skin was dark blue. Her eyes glowed like burning stars. She was the most powerful ruler in the known universe. Her empire had conquered over 500 planets. Every species in the galaxy feared her name. But today, something was wrong. A guard ran into the throne room. His footsteps echoed loudly on the crystal floor. He was breathing hard. His face showed pure terror. The queen looked at him with cold eyes. "Why do you disturb me, soldier?" The guard fell to his knees. His whole body was shaking. "My queen, forgive me, but you must know something. It is about Princess Lyris." The queen's eyes narrowed. Lyris was her only daughter, her only child, the most precious thing in her life. "Speak clearly. What about my daughter?" The guard swallowed hard. He was afraid to say the words. "The princess, she called the human prisoner father." Silence. Complete and total silence filled the throne room. Every guard, every servant, every advisor stopped breathing. They all stared at the queen. Queen Vexara slowly stood up from her throne. Her hands were shaking, not with fear, with rage. "What did you just say?" "The human prisoner, my queen, the one we captured 6 months ago. Princess Lyris has been visiting him in secret, and today she called him father." The queen's scream echoed through the entire palace. 6 months earlier, a small human cargo ship flew through space. It was an old ship, nothing special, just a simple transport vessel carrying supplies from Earth to a distant colony. The pilot's name was James Walker. He was 45 years old. He had gray hair and tired eyes. He used to be a school teacher on Earth. He taught little children how to read and write. But that was before the accident. 3 years ago, James lost everything. His wife and his young son died in a car accident. After that day, James could not stay on Earth anymore. Every street reminded him of his family. Every park, every school. The pain was too much. So James left Earth. He became a cargo pilot. He flew alone through the empty space, running away from his memories, running away from his broken heart. But on this day, something went wrong. His ship's engine failed. Warning lights flashed everywhere. The ship started falling toward a strange planet. James tried to control the ship, but it was too late. Crash! The ship hit the ground hard. Metal screamed. Glass shattered. Everything went black. When James opened his eyes, he was not alone. Strange creatures surrounded him. They were tall, blue skin, glowing eyes. They wore armor that looked like it was made from crystals. Zyraxians. James had heard stories about them, the most powerful empire in the galaxy. They did not like humans. They thought humans were weak and primitive. "This one is alive," one of the Zyraxians said. "What should we do with it?" "Take it to the royal prison. It crashed near the queen's summer palace. She will decide what to do with it." They grabbed him roughly. They put chains on his hands. They threw him into a dark prison cell. And there James waited, day after day, week after week, alone in the darkness. He thought about his son every night. He looked at the only thing he had left, a small photograph, his boy smiling at the camera, so happy, so full of life, gone forever. One night he heard small footsteps outside his cell. He looked up. A little face appeared at his cell window. A child, blue skin, big, curious eyes. She looked about 8 years old. It was Princess Lyris. "Hello," she whispered. "What are you?" James stared at her. He had not talked to anyone in weeks. "I am a human," he said quietly. "A human? I have never seen a human before. You look strange." James almost smiled. Almost. "You look strange to me, too." The little princess giggled. She looked at the photograph in James's hand. "What is that?" James felt pain in his chest, but he answered, "This is my son." "Where is he?" "He is gone, to a place where I cannot follow." The princess did not understand, but she saw the sadness in the human's eyes. "You look sad," she said softly. "I am sad too. My mother never has time for me. She is always busy." James looked at this lonely little alien girl, and for a moment he forgot his own pain. "What is your name?" he asked. "Lyris, Princess Lyris. What is yours?" "James." Lyris smiled. It was a warm smile, an innocent smile. "I will come back tomorrow, James. Will you tell me more about humans?" James nodded slowly. "Yes, I will." That night, neither of them knew what was beginning. A friendship that would shake the entire empire. A bond that would make a queen scream with rage. And a secret that would change everything. But somewhere in the shadows, someone was watching. Someone was always watching.
A mother's rage. The palace spy ran through the dark corridors. His heart was beating fast. He had seen something impossible, something dangerous, something that could destroy him if he did not report it immediately. He reached the queen's private chamber. 2 royal guards blocked his path. "I must see the queen, now. It is about Princess Lyris." The guards looked at each other. Then they opened the door. Queen Vexara was standing near her window. She was looking at the stars. Her face was calm, but her mind was filled with war strategies and conquest plans. "My queen," the spy said, falling to his knees, "forgive me for disturbing you." "Speak." "I have been watching the human prisoner, as you ordered, but tonight I discovered something terrible." The queen turned slowly, her glowing eyes fixed on the spy. "What did you discover?" "Princess Lyris. She has been visiting the human every night for 4 months. She sneaks out of her room and goes to his cell. They talk for hours. He tells her stories. He sings her songs. And tonight—" The spy stopped. He was too afraid to continue. "Tonight what?" the queen roared. "Tonight, the princess called him father." The word echoed in the chamber like a death sentence. Father. Her daughter called a filthy human father. The queen's hands began to shake. The crystal glass in her hand shattered into 1,000 pieces. Purple blood dripped from her palm, but she did not feel the pain. She only felt rage. "Bring the human to me," she whispered. Her voice was cold like ice. "Bring him now." James was sleeping in his cell when the guards came. They did not knock. They did not speak. They simply grabbed him and dragged him through the palace corridors. James knew something was wrong, very wrong. They threw him onto the cold floor of the throne room. His face hit the crystal ground hard. Blood dripped from his lip. He looked up. Queen Vexara stood above him. Her eyes burned with a fire he had never seen before. This was not just anger. This was something deeper, something more dangerous. "You disgusting creature," the queen said slowly. Each word was filled with venom. "You worthless, primitive, pathetic human." James said nothing. He just looked at her. "My daughter is the future of this empire. She is royalty. Her blood is pure. Her destiny is to rule the galaxy. And you have poisoned her mind." "I did not poison her mind," James said calmly. "Silence." The queen grabbed James by his throat. She lifted him off the ground with one hand. Zyraxians with 10 times stronger than humans. "You made my daughter call you father. You stole her love. You turned her against me." James could barely breathe, but he still spoke. "I did not steal anything. I simply gave her what she needed. And what is that? Time, attention, love, things you were too busy to give her." The queen threw James across the room. His body crashed against a pillar. He fell to the ground, gasping for air. "You know nothing about me," the queen hissed. "You know nothing of my sacrifices. I have built an empire. I have protected my people. I have won wars that would make your tiny human brain explode." James slowly stood up. His body was broken, but his spirit was not. "You have won wars, but you have lost your daughter. Every night she cries herself to sleep. Every morning she waits for you to say good morning, but you never come. You are always too busy, too important, too powerful." The queen froze. She does not want an empire. She wants a mother, but you are never there. So yes, she came to me, because I listened, because I cared, because I treated her like she mattered." Silence filled the throne room. Every guard, every servant held their breath. No one had ever spoken to the queen like this. No one had ever dared. The queen's face showed no emotion, but deep inside, something was breaking. "You will be executed at sunrise," she said coldly. "Take him to the dungeon." But before the guards could move, the throne room doors burst open. Princess Lyris ran inside. Tears were streaming down her face. Her small feet slapped against the crystal floor. "Mother, stop!" The queen turned to her daughter. Her eyes widened. "Lyris, go back to your room. This does not concern you." "Please do not hurt him. He is my friend. He is the only one who listens to me." "I am your mother. I listen to you." Lyris shook her head. Tears fell from her big purple eyes. "No, mother, you do not. You are always busy, always in meetings, always planning wars. I eat breakfast alone. I eat dinner alone. I sleep alone. James is the only one who makes me feel not alone." The queen stared at her daughter. She wanted to argue, she wanted to explain, but the words would not come, because deep down she knew it was true. "Lyris," the queen whispered, "if you kill him, I will never forgive you. Never." The little princess turned and ran out of the throne room. Her crying echoed through the corridors. The queen stood frozen. Her heart was beating fast. Her hands were shaking. For the first time in many years, Queen Vexara did not know what to do. "Take the human to the high-security dungeon," she finally said. "I will decide his fate later." That night, the palace was quiet, but dangerous things were happening in the shadows. James sat in his new cell. It was deeper underground, darker, colder. He closed his eyes. He thought about Lyris. He hoped she was okay. Suddenly, he heard footsteps. A tall figure appeared at his cell door. It was a Zyraxian in military armor, but not just any soldier. It was General Zorath, the Queen's most trusted commander, the leader of her entire army. "Human," the general said with a cold smile. "We need to talk." James looked at him carefully. Something was wrong. The general's eyes were filled with darkness. "What do you want?" "I want to offer you a deal. Help me, and I will give you your freedom." "Help you with what?" The general leaned closer. His voice became a whisper. "Help me kill the queen." James felt his blood turn cold. "You want to betray your own ruler? She is weak. She has become soft. This foolishness with her daughter proves it. The empire needs a strong leader, a true warrior, me. And why do you need my help?"
The general smiled darkly. Because the princess trusts you. You can get close to her, and whoever controls the princess controls the queen. James stared at the general. His mind was racing. This was his chance to escape, to go home, to be free. But it would mean betraying Lyris, using her, hurting her. Think about it, human, the general said, walking away. The cell door slammed shut. James sat alone in the darkness. His heart was torn in two. What should he do? Meanwhile, in her private chamber, Queen Vexara sat alone. She was looking at something she had not touched in years. A small holographic video, her daughter as a baby, laughing, playing, happy. And next to baby Lyris was the king, Queen Vexara's husband, the only man she ever loved. He died protecting Lyris, an assassin's blade. He jumped in front of it, saved his daughter, lost his life. After that day, Vexara closed her heart. She buried her emotions. She became cold, hard, unbreakable. She thought it would protect her from pain, but instead it pushed her daughter away. A single tear rolled down the queen's cheek. "What have I become?" she whispered.
The impossible choice. The dungeon was cold, dark, silent. James sat on the hard floor. His back was against the wall. His eyes were closed, but his mind was racing like a storm. The general's words echoed in his head. "Help me kill the queen, and I will give you your freedom." Freedom. That word used to mean everything to James. He dreamed of going back to Earth, walking on green grass again, breathing fresh air, seeing blue skies. But now, that word felt empty. Because every time he thought about freedom, he saw Lyris's face, her big purple eyes, her innocent smile, the way she laughed when he made paper birds for her. If he helped the general, he would be free, but Lyris would lose everything: her mother, her throne, her life. The general did not just want to kill the queen, he wanted to control the empire, and to control the empire, he needed to control the princess. James knew what that meant. Lyris would become a prisoner, a puppet, a tool. No. James opened his eyes. His decision was made. "I will not betray her," he whispered. "I will not betray my daughter." But there was a problem. James was locked in the most secure dungeon in the Zyraxian Empire. 50 guards outside, energy barriers on every door, cameras everywhere. Escape was impossible. Or was it? James closed his eyes and thought hard. Lyris had told him many things during their secret meetings, stories about the palace, secrets about the royal family, and one very important thing: the ancient tunnels. Hundreds of years ago, the palace was built on top of old ruins. Secret tunnels ran beneath the entire building. Only the royal family knew about them. Lyris found them when she was 6 years old. She used them to sneak around the palace. She told James about a tunnel entrance in the old storage room next to the dungeon. "If I can get out of this cell," James muttered, "I can find that tunnel." But how could he get out? He looked around his cell. Stone walls, metal door. Nothing useful. Then he looked at himself. His clothes were torn, but he still had one thing: a small metal button on his jacket. It was sharp, very sharp. James smiled. Sometimes being human was an advantage. Zyraxians thought humans were weak, stupid, helpless. They never expected a human to fight back. 2 hours later, a guard came to check on James. He opened the cell door and looked inside. The cell was empty. "What the—" Crack! James jumped from behind the door. He hit the guard on the head with a heavy chain.
The guard fell to the ground, unconscious. James grabbed the guard's weapon and his key card. He moved quickly through the dungeon corridor. 2 more guards appeared. James did not hesitate. He fired the weapon twice. Both guards fell. He was not a soldier. He was a school teacher. But tonight, he was something more. He was a father protecting his child. James found the old storage room. It was filled with dust and forgotten equipment. He searched the walls until he found it. A small crack, a hidden door. He pushed it open and entered the ancient tunnel. The tunnel was dark. Water dripped from the ceiling. Strange sounds echoed from deep inside. But James kept moving. He had to reach the queen. He had to warn her. Suddenly, he heard voices ahead. He stopped and pressed himself against the wall. 2 Zyraxian soldiers were walking through the tunnel. They were wearing the general's colors. "Is everything ready?" one soldier asked. "Yes. The general's poison is in the queen's morning drink. By sunrise, she will be dead, and then we take the princess." "What about the human?" "The general will kill him after he is useful. Humans are disposable." The soldiers laughed and walked away. James's blood boiled. The attack was happening at sunrise. He had only few hours. He started running. Meanwhile, Princess Lyris was in her room. She could not sleep. She kept thinking about James. Was he okay? Was he scared? Was he hurt? She wanted to go see him, but guards were everywhere tonight. Something strange is happening in the palace. Lyris walked to her window and looked at the stars. "Please be safe, Father. Please." Suddenly, she heard a noise outside her door. Footsteps. Many footsteps. Then, silence. Lyris felt fear in her heart. Something very wrong. At the same time, Queen Vexara was in her private chamber. She could not sleep either. She kept thinking about Lyris's words. "If you kill him, I will never forgive you. Never." Those words hurt more than any weapon, more than any battle wound. The queen walked to her mirror and looked at herself. She saw a powerful ruler, a feared conqueror, a mighty queen. But she also saw something else, a mother who had failed. "I pushed her away," Vexara whispered. "I thought I was protecting her, but I was only protecting myself, from pain, from loss, from love." She thought about her husband, the king. He died with love in his heart. He died protecting his family. But Vexara, she survived with ice in her heart. She survived by shutting everyone out, including her own daughter. "I need to make this right," the queen said. "Tomorrow I will talk to Lyris. I will tell her everything. I will be her mother again." But tomorrow would never come, because at that exact moment, her chamber door exploded. James burst through the door. He was covered in dirt and blood. His clothes were torn. His body was wounded. But his eyes were burning with determination. Guards rushed forward to grab him, but James shouted at the top of his lungs, "Your general is a traitor. He is planning to kill you tonight." Everyone froze. The queen stared at James. Her eyes were wide with shock. "What did you say?" "General Zorath. He has poisoned your morning drink. He has bribed half your guards. He is planning to take your throne and control Princess Lyris." "That is impossible. Zorath has served me for 20 years. "He called you weak," he said. "He said your love for Lyris has made you soft. He wants to kill you and use your daughter as a puppet." The queen's face turned pale. "How do you know this?" "He came to my cell. He offered me freedom if I helped him. He wanted me to use Lyris against you." "And you refused?" James looked directly into the queen's eyes. "Lyris is my daughter too. Maybe not by blood, but by heart. I would die before I let anyone hurt her." The queen stared at this strange human, this weak, small, fragile creature. But she did not see weakness anymore. She saw something she had forgotten for a long time. True courage, true love, true sacrifice. "Why?" the queen asked softly. "Why would you risk your life to save me? I ordered your execution." James answered simply, "Because if you die, Lyris will have no one, and I promised myself I would never let another child feel alone. Not again." The queen felt something crack inside her chest. This human understood something she had forgotten. Love was not weakness. Love was strength. Before anyone could speak, a massive explosion shook the entire palace. The walls cracked, the floor trembled, alarms started screaming. General Zorath's voice echoed through every speaker in the palace. "Soldiers of the Empire, Queen Vexara is a weak ruler. Tonight, I take command. Kill anyone who resists. Capture the princess. The new era begins now." The queen grabbed her energy blade. It glowed bright purple. James picked up a fallen guard's weapon. They stood side by side, a powerful alien queen and a simple human teacher. "Can you fight, human?" the queen asked. "I can try." "Then stay close to me." The soldiers attacked, and the battle for the Empire began. Somewhere in the palace, little Princess Lyris heard the explosions. She saw fire outside her window. She heard screaming and fighting. She was terrified. But then she thought about James, his kind eyes, his gentle voice, his promise to always protect her. She closed her eyes and whispered, "Father, please come find me."
Blood and fire. The throne room was on fire. Bodies lay everywhere. Purple blood stained the crystal floor. The beautiful pillars were cracked and broken. Smoke filled the air like a thick blanket. Queen Vexara moved like a demon. Her energy blade cut through enemy soldiers like paper. Every swing was death. Every step was destruction. She was not just a queen tonight. She was a warrior. James stayed close behind her. He fired his weapon at every enemy he saw. His hands were shaking. His heart was pounding, but he did not stop. "Human, on your left!" the queen shouted. James turned and fired. A soldier fell. "Thanks," he gasped. "Do not thank me. Just stay alive." They pushed through the throne room and into the main corridor. More soldiers were waiting. 10, 20, 30. The queen did not hesitate. She charged forward. James watched in amazement. He had never seen anything like this. The queen was a storm of death. Her blade danced through the air. Soldiers screamed and fell. But even storms have limits. A soldier appeared behind the queen. She did not see him. He raised his weapon to shoot her in the back. "No!" James screamed. He threw himself at the soldier. They crashed to the ground together. The soldier was bigger, stronger. He grabbed James by the throat. "Stupid human," the soldier laughed. "You think you can—" Slash! The queen's blade cut through the soldier's neck. His body fell limp. James gasped for air. The queen pulled him to his feet. "You saved my life," she said. Her voice was strange, soft, almost grateful. "You saved mine first." The queen looked at James differently now. Not with hatred, not with disgust, with something new. Respect. "Come," she said. "We must reach Lyris." They ran through the burning palace. Everywhere was chaos. Loyal guards were fighting traitor soldiers. Explosions shook the walls. Alarms screamed without end. "The safe room," the queen said. "Lyris should be there. It is the most protected place in the palace." "How far?" 2 more corridors. They turned a corner and stopped. 50 soldiers blocked their path, and in front of them stood a massive Zyraxian warrior. He was 3 meters tall. His body was covered in scars. His eyes were cold and empty. "Commander Vrock,"
General Zorath's right hand, the most brutal killer in the Empire. Queen Vexara, Vrock said with a sick smile. The general sends his regards. Step aside, Vrock, or die. I think not. You see, the general has something you want, something small and precious. The queen's face went pale. What are you talking about? Vrock pulled out a small device. A hologram appeared. It showed Princess Lyris. She was crying. Her hands were tied. A soldier held a blade to her throat. "Mother, help me!" Lyris screamed. The queen's heart stopped. "Lyris!" "If you want to see your daughter alive," Vrock said, "you will drop your weapon now." James watched the queen. He saw something he never expected. Fear. The most powerful ruler in the galaxy was afraid, not for herself, but for her child. In that moment, James understood something important. The queen was not a monster. She was a mother who had made terrible mistakes, a mother who had lost her way, but still, a mother. "Do not listen to him," James whispered. "If you surrender, he will kill us all, including Lyris. But if I fight, they will hurt her." "They will hurt her anyway. The general needs her alive to control the Empire, but he does not need you alive. Think, Your Majesty, what would your husband do?" The queen's eyes widened. Her husband, the king, he died fighting. He never surrendered. He never gave up. Even when death was certain, he chose courage. The queen's grip tightened on her blade. "You are right, human." She looked at Vrock with burning eyes. "Tell your general this. I am coming for my daughter, and nothing in this universe will stop me." Vrock laughed. "Brave words. Let us see if you can." He never finished his sentence. The queen threw her blade. It spun through the air and buried itself in Vrock's chest. He looked down in shock. Purple blood poured from his wound. "Impossible," he whispered. He fell to the ground, dead. The 50 soldiers stared in shock. Their commander was dead in 1 second. "Attack!" one of them shouted. The battle exploded. James and the queen fought like they had trained together for years. She attacked from the front. He covered her back. She cut down enemies. He shot anyone who got too close. But there were too many soldiers, and they were getting tired. A blast hit James in the shoulder. He screamed and fell. "Human!" the queen shouted. She ran to him and stood over his body. She fought off 3 soldiers at once, 4, 5. "Get up!" she commanded. "Get up!" James forced himself to stand. Blood ran down his arm. The pain was terrible, but he saw the queen fighting to protect him. This alien who once wanted him dead was now risking her life for him. "Why?" James gasped. "Why are you protecting me?" The queen killed another soldier and looked at him. "Because my daughter loves you, and I'm starting to understand why." Something warm filled James' heart. Despite the blood, despite the pain, despite everything, he smiled. "Then let us go save our daughter." The queen's eyes softened for just a moment. "Yes, our daughter." They finally reached the safe room. The door was broken. The walls were burned, signs of battle everywhere. The queen ran inside. "Lyris! Lyris!" But the room was empty. No princess, no guards, nothing. Only a message written on the wall in purple blood. "Come to the throne room, alone, or she dies. Zorath." The queen fell to her knees. A terrible scream escaped her throat. It was the sound of a mother's heart breaking. "No, no, no!" James knelt beside her. He put his hand on her shoulder. "We will get her back." "How? He has an army. We are only 2. 2 is enough. Your husband was 1 man, and he saved Lyris. We are 2. We can do this." The queen looked at James. Tears were in her eyes. Tears she had not allowed herself to cry in years. "You really believe that?" "I have to, because giving up is not an option, not when Lyris needs us." The queen wiped her tears. The fire returned in her eyes. "You are strange, human. I have conquered planets. I have defeated armies. I have killed kings and emperors. But I have never met anyone like you. I'm just a father, that's all." "No,"
The queen stood up. "You are more than that. Much more." She picked up her blade. "General Zorath wants me to come alone, but I will not. I will come with you. Together we will destroy him. Together we will save our daughter." James stood up beside her. Together. They walked towards the throne room. The final battle was waiting. The general was waiting. And somewhere in that room, a little girl was crying for her father. But this time, her father was coming, and he was bringing a queen with him.
A father's love. The corridor leading to the throne room was silent. Too silent. No soldiers, no guards, no fighting, just empty hallways and flickering lights. James and the queen walked slowly. Their weapons were ready. Their hearts were pounding. "This is a trap," James whispered. "I know," the queen replied, "but we have no choice." They reached the massive throne room doors, the same doors where this nightmare began, where the queen first learned that her daughter called a human father. Now everything would end here. The queen took a deep breath. "Human? James, before we enter, I must say something." James looked at her. "I was wrong about you. I thought humans were weak, pathetic, worthless. But you have shown me more courage than any warrior in my empire, more love than any Zyraxian I have ever known." She paused. "If we do not survive this, I want you to know I am grateful. Grateful that my daughter found you." James nodded slowly. "And if we do not survive, tell Lyris I love her. Tell her she gave me a reason to live again." The queen almost smiled. "We will tell her together. Now, let us end this." She pushed open the doors. The throne room was destroyed. The crystal pillars were shattered. The walls were burned black. The ceiling had holes where stars were visible. Fire burned in every corner. And in the center, sitting on the broken throne, was General Zorath. He was a massive Zyraxian, taller than any soldier. His body was covered in battle scars. His eyes glowed with madness and ambition. "Welcome, my queen," he said with a twisted smile. "I was wondering when you would arrive. Where is my daughter?" The general snapped his fingers. Two soldiers dragged Princess Lyris forward. Her hands were chained. Her face was wet with tears. A blade was pressed against her small throat. "Mother! Father!" she screamed. "Lyris!" James shouted. He started to run forward. "Stop!" the general commanded. "One more step and she dies." James froze. His whole body was shaking with rage. The general laughed. "Look at you, a pathetic human, shaking like a scared animal. And yet your queen came here with you instead of her army. Fascinating." The queen stepped forward. "Release my daughter, Zorath. This is between you and me." "Oh, but it is not just between us anymore. You see, your daughter has become complicated. She loves this human more than she loves you, more than she loves her own empire." "That is not true," Lyris cried. "I love my mother. I love them both." The general ignored her. "This is the problem with love, my queen. It makes you weak. It makes you stupid. It made your husband die like a fool. And now it will make you die too." The queen's eyes burned with fury. "You dare speak about my husband? Oh yes, your precious king, the great hero who jumped in front of an assassin's blade. So noble, so brave, so stupid. He died protecting his daughter. He died because he was weak, just like you are weak now. Look at yourself. You came here with a human to save your child, the most powerful queen in the galaxy, reduced to this." The queen gripped her blade tighter. "Love is not weakness.
Love is the greatest weakness, and I will prove it. The general stood up from the throne. I will give you a choice, Vexara. You can save your daughter, or you can save your human, but not both. He snapped his fingers again. More soldiers appeared. They grabbed James and dragged him to the other side of the room. Now Lyris and James were on opposite ends, both with blades at their throats. Choose, the general said, your daughter or the human who stole her love. The queen stood frozen. Her eyes moved between Lyris and James. Her daughter, the man who saved her daughter's heart. I cannot choose. Then they both die. Wait! Everyone turned. James was speaking. I will make this easy, he said calmly. Choose Lyris. James, no! Listen to me, Vexara. Lyris is your daughter, your blood, your future. I'm just a human, a nobody. I do not matter. You do matter, Lyris screamed. Father, please! James looked at his little alien girl. Tears filled his eyes, but he smiled. Lyris, sweetheart, do you remember what I taught you about what a father does? Lyris was crying hard. A father protects his family. That's right, and that's what I'm doing now. I'm protecting you. But I do not want you to die. I know, baby, I know, but some things are more important than living. Love is more important, and I love you. I love you more than my own life. James looked at the queen. Save her, please. Let me do this one last thing. Let me be a father one more time. The queen felt tears running down her face. She understood now. She finally understood. This human was not weak. He was the strongest person she had ever met, because true strength was not about power. It was not about conquering planets or winning wars. True strength was about sacrifice, about love, about giving everything for the people you care about, just like her husband did, just like James was doing now. No, the queen whispered. The general smiled. No. Then they both, no! I said no, I will not choose. I will not let either of them die. You do not have a choice. There is always a choice. The queen moved faster than lightning. She threw her blade at the soldier holding Lyris. The blade hit him in the chest. He fell. At the same time, James made his move. He headbutted the soldier holding him. The soldier stumbled. James grabbed his weapon and fired. Chaos exploded. The queen and James fought like demons, side by side, back to back, two warriors with nothing left to lose. Soldiers fell one after another, 10, 20, 30, but the general was not finished. He pulled out a massive energy cannon, a weapon powerful enough to destroy a spaceship. Enough, he roared. He aimed at Lyris. If I cannot rule this empire, then I will destroy it, starting with your precious daughter. He fired. Time slowed. James saw the blast coming. He saw Lyris's terrified face. He saw death flying toward his little girl. And he didn't think. He just moved. James threw himself in front of Lyris. The blast hit him in the chest. His body flew across the room and crashed against the wall. "Father!" Lyris screamed. "James!" the queen shouted. The general laughed. "Foolish human, you gave your life for nothing. Now watch your daughter." He never finished. The queen appeared in front of him. Her eyes were burning with a fire he had never seen before. "You hurt my family." She drove her blade through his heart. The general looked down in shock. Purple blood poured from his chest. "Impossible! You are weak!" "No," the queen said coldly. "I am a mother, and you threatened my children." She twisted the blade. The general fell, dead. The queen ran to James. He was lying on the ground, blood everywhere. His breathing was shallow. His eyes were closing. "James! "James, stay with me!" Lyris fell beside him. She grabbed his hand. "Father, please, do not leave me. You promised you would never leave me." James slowly opened his eyes. He saw Lyris crying above him. He saw the queen with tears streaming down her face. "Did I save her?" he whispered. "Yes," the queen said. "You saved her. You saved us both." James smiled weakly. "Good. That's all that matters. Do not talk like that. You're going to survive. I command you to survive." James laughed softly. Then he coughed. Blood came out. "Even queens cannot command death." "Father, please," Lyris sobbed. "I need you. I need you." James reached up and touched her face. "You do not need me, sweetheart. You have your mother now. She loves you. I know she does. I can see it in her eyes." He looked at the queen. "Take care of her. Be the mother she deserves. Do not make my sacrifice worthless." The queen grabbed his hand. "I will. I swear on my husband's memory. I will be the mother she needs. I will love her every day. I will never push her away again." James smiled. "Thank you, Vexara." His eyes started to close. "Father," Lyris whispered, "I love you, my daughter." His hand went limp. His eyes closed. His chest stopped moving.